In this video, I'm going to show you a trick to finding sine, cosine or tan of angles outside the first quadrant. In order to use this trick, you need to memorize everything that's in this table. For example, you must know from memory that cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2, or tan of pi over 6 is 1 over root 3. You also need to know that all three of the trig functions are positive in the first quadrant. Sine is the only trig function that's positive in the second quadrant. Tan is the only one positive in the third quadrant, and cosine is the only one positive in the fourth quadrant. Okay, so here's the trick. For question 1, we're going to look at sine of 7 pi over 4. The trick is, drop the number in the numerator, determine which quadrant 7 pi over 4 is in. 7 pi over 4 is in the fourth quadrant. Cosine is the only trig function that is positive in the fourth quadrant, meaning that sine of any angle in here is negative. And from memory, you should know that sine of pi over 4 is root 2 over 2, so our answer is negative root 2 over 2. For question 2, again, it's going to be the same trick. Drop the number in the numerator so that we're only looking at cosine of pi over 6. Which quadrant is 5 pi over 6 in? Well, that's in the second quadrant in here. Sine is the only trig function that's positive in that second quadrant, so cosine is going to be negative. And cosine of pi over 6 from our table, that is root 3 over 2, so our answer negative root 3 over 2. And finally, tan of 4 pi over 3. Again, drop the number in the numerator. 4 pi over 3 is in this quadrant, it's in the third quadrant. Tan is positive in the third quadrant, so we don't need to apply a minus sign. And tan of pi over 3 is root 3. I hope this helps.